Synthetix. So, Synthetix is all about effectively being able to trade synthetic assets. Now, there's obviously a little more to it because obviously it's a liquidity protocol as well, but this has the potential to revamp the way the stock market was to work. The question is can it disrupt, or can crypto tech, blockchain tech disrupt the way the stock market works? I think that's a very difficult thing to do. I want to talk about the potential here and why this could do well. Before I get into it though, guys, if you're new here and you don't know what the spreadsheet is, these are the first 26 coins that I did videos about on the channel. In the videos, I showed myself buying up all of these coins. These were coins that I expected were going to make me a lot of cash. And if you'd done the same, popped $100 into each of them, you'd have got in at these prices when I released the vids. If you'd waited 16 months to sell them, these are what you'd have got out at. And this is what your profit would have been from 100 into each. So 100 into all 26, your total profit under a year and a half is over 123 grand. That's close to a house in some places. Now, in under a year and a half, that's pretty staggering. Only in crypto can you do that kind of thing. Now, if you don't have a portfolio, you're actually in the perfect time, because fundamentally right now, we've had the halving, probably got a month or so of sideways / downturn action on the prices. So you can get in at the perfect time. If you go to copymycrypto.com, that's the site I run where I share my entire portfolio with the members. If you joined up today, you'd see my portfolio. If you go onto the site, you'll see why there are thousands of members on there, and that's because of the wins that they've had, the successes that they've had. All of that is public record as well. You can verify it. So like I said, now is the perfect time to sort your portfolio. So if you haven't got the ball rolling yet, have a read of the site, because if you do, I think you'll realize it's a site you've got to try out, man. Now, Synthetix. So, did very well, really, in the last bull cycle, especially when it was at prices of like under 50 cents a points. You know, it's a solid sort of 50x or more. I mean, when it was under 30 cents, you know, you're looking at very good money. Now, Synthetix is building a decentralized liquidity provisioning protocol. Basically, it allows anyone to tap into it for any purpose. It's deep liquidity and low fees, serve as a backend for many exciting protocols on Optimism and ETH. Many user-facing protocols in the Synthetix ecosystem like Quenta, Lyra, Polynomial, 1inch, and Curve tap into Synthetix liquidity to power their protocols. It's built on Optimism and Ethereum mainnet. It's collateralized by the Synthetix token, as well as Ethereum and a pegged USD, which enables the issuance of synthetic assets. And synths track and provide return on the underlying asset without requiring one to directly hold the asset. The pooled collateral enables an array of on-chain financial instruments backed by liquidity from Synthetix. Now, the main thing really here is this synths. Now, basically it means I could own a Tesla stock. I could have a synthetic Tesla stock while I don't actually own the underlying stock. I own the pegged asset. And the pegs haven't broken. The pegs have been consistent, which is really strong. It was founded by Kane Warwick. It's worth noting Kane Warwick and in that entire family have got a hell of a resume. The other two brothers founded, I want to say it's Illuvium, but I'm not sure it is now. It's a gaming one anyway. And the team behind Synthetix are really, really strong. Synthetix is like, if you're unfamiliar with Tiki Tiwari, it's like his favorite cryptocurrency. He believes this is going to revolutionize the world, like the financial world. I think he's wrong. But the potential is there. So here's the thing that's worth talking about with regards to Synthetix, right? Let's just jump onto the app and then we can get onto it from there. Yeah, terms and conditions. Bull crap. Yeah, right. So, let's have a look at Let's have a look at overtime markets and Quanta. So the reason that someone like Tiki Tawari is incredibly bullish on something like Synthetix is very, very simple. Very, very simple. Fundamentally, there is a problem with the stock market. And the problem with the stock market is it prices a lot of people out of actually participating in it. You have middlemen everywhere within the stock market. You have, if I want to make a stock trade, I'm either going to be paying a flat fee to a stockbroker or a percentage of my underlying assets. And you bleed money as a result of these. Yeah, if your stock portfolio performs well, wonderful, right? But you still bleed money in little bits. And if you haven't got a lot of capital, that bleed is significant. That bleed might be bigger than the actual amount of money you've got to invest. And that's an issue, right? It's a massive issue. And also the stock markets close. Yes, they're open in multiple jurisdictions. So, you've got London Stock Exchange, Hong Kong, you've got New York, but they close. There are periods that they close. So you don't actually have the opportunity to participate in the stock market all the time. Crypto is open 24/7. And let's just use a bit of logic here. There's a lot of money left on the table to the stock market, to the New York Stock Exchange, to all of these places, because if these markets were open 24/7, there'd be a lot more money flowing in them. There'd be a lot more money flowing in them. And that's where, in theory... Yeah, fine. Oh, this is sports betting, is it? Oh, this is sports betting. Okay, fine. And this is where Synthetix can, in theory, change the whole position, change the whole situation. The problem is you're looking to, you're trying to disrupt literally the biggest financial, traditional finance sector in the world. The stock market is, I think the ability to disrupt that is significantly limited. I think it's going to be nigh on impossible to actually disrupt that, because you've got to get them to be okay with this. Also, you've got to remember as well that there's a big downside here. You don't actually own the underlying assets. And there is a big downside with that. At least when you own the underlying assets, you actually own your share. You're a shareholder, or however you want to phrase it. If you don't own the underlying asset, there's a limited upside other than the price fluctuations. Now, one thing that I do think with Synthetix that has immense potential is the fact that because of what they've created, the ability for synthetic assets to grow is enormous. And I think we could see a lot of traditional finance traders getting into Synthetix, because guess what? If I know that a traditional stock or a traditional currency is going to bang, I can do it on Synthetix and get in throughout the night while the market's closed. So you could have a serious situation where a lot of investment opens up to Synthetix because of that. I think Synthetix has real potential to hit a new all-time high. I really do. But the price action has been really poor so far this year, which doesn't fill me with confidence. The big question around Synthetix is going to boil down to how much do traditional finance guys enter into this space, along with, are there going to be conversations out in the open about making the stock markets open 24/7, or is there going to be a conversation around synthetic assets and a use case? If that becomes a narrative that takes hold, Synthetix will be the one and only that rally like wild. I think there's a very real shot of this coin hitting $40, hitting a new high. However, again, a big narrative shift has to take hold, which we haven't seen anything like that yet. And you also need the traditional finance guys to be plowing into this. If these two things don't happen, this won't hit a new all-time high. So I'm bullish on this in the sense that I think it can, but if those two things don't happen, it won't hit an all-time high. It's that simple. And if they don't happen, I honestly would be only looking at this to hit 15 or 16 bucks. But there is potential here. I think Tiki Tawari's over-egged the potential for this to disrupt the entire industry. I simply don't think that will happen. But even just the conversation happening is enough for this to take a strong hold of the strong narrative and push forward in price. And it would bring so much volume in terms of trading, because right now the volume's not great either. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. Do you think that can do? Do you think I'm underestimating it, overestimating it? Let me know in the comments. And guys, if you want to make the same profits as me in this bull cycle, all you have to do is join up at copymycrypto.com. That's the site I run where I share my entire portfolio with my members. Anytime I buy or sell any coin, I let my members know what coin I'm buying or selling, what percentage, and at what price. This means my members make the exact same money as me. They don't have to do any work at all. If you go onto the site, you'll see what my members have made. You'll see the things they've said. This is all public record. You can verify it. You can see the successes we've had. Again, it's all public record. You can verify it on this channel. If you don't have your portfolio built, you've got the perfect window. You've got a month, maybe just a couple of weeks before these markets start getting ready to rip. Now is the time to build your portfolio. If you're not confident in the portfolio you've got, have a look at copymycrypto.com. Have a look at why there are thousands of members, because if you do, you will realize that it's a service you've got to try out. And look, again, once these markets rip, new all-time highs will be coming. It's worth noting the halvings. The first halving, it took 1 month for Bitcoin to rise 50%. Second halving, it took 4 months for Bitcoin to rise 50%. Third halving, it took 5 months for Bitcoin to rise 50%. So this one, 5 to 6 months. You've got this window right now. Use the time well. Check out copymycrypto.com. And that's it from me, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.